I had luck getting published at first. That's the catch. My first book, I was published quite easily. I sent it to an agent who liked it, who found a publisher in 3 months, asked 3 people, got 2 turn downs, and the third one loved it. And so most people have the struggle in the beginning. Now, what I've discovered is that every writer has struggles, and it'll all be the same. It's from publishers, and you'll get it sooner or later. You get it in the beginning, or you eke it out through the years, or you get it after a while, but you get it. It's a hard business to be in.
While I was writing for the pulp paper magazines, there were rejections. I could paper my house with rejections. So you have to live through all that. If you are easily discouraged, forget it. You just bounce back, try again, and learn, grow.
Well, I see it as sort of two different processes. It was a struggle to get the story published, the first story. It was my 10th story, and each of those 10 stories had been submitted many times. And I think I counted it up once, so it was sort of my 40th submission. And in many ways, that was the most thrilling moment for me when I got that letter. It was from Yankee Magazine, to be not so much a struggle as just a rite of passage, that I think nobody should get their first story published, and that it teaches you something, and that the rejection in some way is good for you.
Everything that could have gone wrong with the first book went wrong. To begin with, I had the entirely wrong agent. He and I were not at all compatible. He was the type who was more interested in pulp fiction. Even I, sitting down in North Carolina at this point, because we were back in North Carolina, at that point I knew that he was sending these books to the wrong places. I knew I did not need to be published by these hard-boiled, semi-pornographic publishers. Eventually we just agreed to dissolve the relationship, the agent-client relationship. But by that time, he had sort of sent the manuscript out wholesale, and it fetched up on a desk out in California. Harlequin Books had decided that they were going to get into the mysteries the way they were into romances, and they thought they could market mysteries the way they marketed romances. What they don't realize is, while romance readers will read a line, mystery readers want to read an author. But my manuscript had fetched up on the desk when they were still researching this, with the last 40 pages missing. And they really wanted to know how it came out, how it ended. And they decided that they would publish it. And so we hastily resumed the client-agent relationship on a minimal level. And Harlequin bought the book and was going to publish it under the Raven House imprint. Having spent $4 million to research this problem of how people read mysteries, I mean, I would have told them for $4,000, but they insisted on doing it their way. They discovered that no, indeed, they could not market mysteries the way they marketed romances. And so they folded the line. 2 books before mine was to come out.
If you can't take rejection, you really shouldn't be a writer, because you face a lot of rejection letters when you're a young writer. And you got to toughen up your skin, because if you believe you're called to write, and you believe that what you've written is good, it will be published eventually.